Hello everyone, my name is Ranika Fidiani and today I'm going to share a story about cross-culture conflict that happened in Indonesia. But first let's talk about what cross-culture conflict actually means. Cross-culture conflict happen when the people from a different culture or religion have clashes because of different values, belief or way of life, and sometimes it's just a misunderstanding, but if it's not solved, it can grow bigger and turn into violence. And sadly, this is really happened in Indonesia, in a place called Poso, Central Sulawesi, where Muslim and Christian were involved in a serious conflict. This conflict is known as the Poso-religious conflict, and it mainly happened between 1998 and 2001. Poso is a town in a central Sulawesi where both Muslim and Christians live together. For a long time, they lived side by side peacefully, but after the political reform era in 1998, there were a tension because of local election, economic competition, and growing mistrust. Uh, at first, it was just small fight between group of young people from a different religions, but because there was already prejudice and anger, this fight turned into bigger classes. So why this conflict happened? The first is there were differences in religion and belief that become very sensitive. So people start to each other started to each other, uh, not as a neighbor but as us and them. And then there was economic competition. Both Muslim and Christian groups want access to jobs, land, and business opportunities, which created jealousy and tension. And the third, negative stereotypes and rumors spread very fast. People trusted rumor more than facts, and this made the situation worse. And then in late 1998, a small fight between young men and one Muslim and one Christian turned violent. Rumors spread quickly, and soon both communities got involved. This was the starting point of fear of conflict in Poso. And then the conflict in Poso became very serious. According to report, hundreds of people were killed and thousands had to leave their homes. And many houses was burned, churches and mosques were attacked, and whole villages were destroyed, and the market was closed, schools were empty, and daily life was filled with fear. And then the government had to send police and military forces to try to stop fighting, and refugee camps were built, and many families had to live there for months or even years. So uh, the impact of the Poso conflict was not only physical but also emotional. Many families, both they lost their loved ones, and then trust between Muslim and Christian was broken, and then people become afraid of living together again, and then the economy of Poso went down because business were destroyed and people couldn't work normally. So even after the violence ended, it took many years to rebuild peace and rebuild trust between the two communities. So after years of violence, the government, religious leaders, and community leaders decided to take action. In 2001, there was the Malino Peace Agreement. Muslim and Christian leaders sat together, signed peace deals, and promised to stop the violence. Since then, life in Poso has slowly become more peaceful, although the wounds are still there. So this is a teach us an important lesson that conflict can only be solved if we talk to each other, listen, and respect differences. So uh, from me, the biggest lesson from Poso is that religion should never divide people. Instead, it should inspire peace, kindness, and love. And living in a multicultural country like Indonesia means we must learn patience, tolerance, and open-mindedness. So cross-culture conflict can happen anywhere between ethnic group or between religions if there is no understanding and tolerance. But it doesn't have to end in violence. If we focus on dialogue, respect, and cooperation, we can prevent conflict and build harmony. So let's learn from what happened in Poso and make sure it never happen again. Together we can protect peace and celebrate our diversity. So I think that's all from me. Thank you.